Good day, everyone, and thanks for riding with us on this all-new episode of the Ranch It Up Radio Show. I'm Jeff Tigger Erhardt.
And I'm Rebecca Wanner, a.k.a. Beck.
A big thank you goes out to our partners, ranchchannel.com. We've got more listings and more information for you. We'll go through that in just a tick. Dry Creek Ranch. We're going to hear from Max and Haley here in the next upcoming few episodes. Jorgensen Land and Cattle, Transova Genetics, Clear Springs Cattle Company bringing us their annual Bred for Balance sale. In fact, I do believe we're going to hear from Travis too later on in this episode. Axiota Animal Health bringing us Multi-Min and Lactapro, the American Gelbvieh Association, Imogene Ingredients bringing us Farmatan, Westway Feed Products, Medora Boot and Western Wear, Allied Genetic Resources and Allied Feeding Partners, LivestockMarket.com, EquineMarket.com, AuctionTime.com, and we're going to hear from Mark VanZee later on in this episode as well. The Tri-State Livestock News, RFD TV, Wrangler, and this fine radio station. We are back from a very, very, very cold adventure. It ended cold. Last week, we were able to spend just a couple days at the National Western Stock Show and Rodeo in Denver. It's one of my favorite places to go is Denver. And this, Beck, this was your first time ever going to the National Western Stock Show and Rodeo. So I'm just going to ask your opinion. What did you think as the first time?
I gotta admit, I was surprised. The Denver Stock Show has been on my bucket list to eventually attend because that is a big part of Tigger's background is fitting and doing all of these stock shows over the
marketing
years.
And all of that, yeah.
But for me, this was impressive, and I couldn't get over the orchestration that it takes to pull off an event of this size, from the livestock to the people, the seed stock producers, to all of those that are not in our industry, but they get excited because they want to go to the rodeo, the Western lifestyle. And it's always great to give them a good feeling because let's be real, they're the ones putting beef on the plate.
They're buying our product.
They're making those prices that we're getting right now at the sales barn.
Exactly. And so now you've been able to put together all of these stories that I have told you of from when I was young and I was on fitting crews and then got into the bull marketing business and still in the bull marketing business today, ranchchannel.com. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But now you're able to put all that together and be like, okay, now I understand, you know, when he's talked about the carload shows and the pen shows and in the yards and the yard bar.
We did enjoy the yard bar, by the way.
I had to bring that up because
sorry, they're closing. It was their last hurrah, but at least
I know it.
I got to see what the yard bar was all about.
The whole hubbubaloo. So those people that follow us on Facebook, jump on there on ranchitupshow.com. Ranch Channel shared some different videos, and we had thousands upon thousands upon thousands.
Tens of thousands of people.
Of viewers. We got to take in the National Hereford Sale. Man, you want to talk about bell ringers all the way around. That was incredible. Congratulations to bidders and buyers and consigners on that one, to the staff putting it together. We were able to take in the Angus Pen Show. We got some video of that one. We were able to take in the Simmental Pen Show for a while. We went up to the hill. We just got a little skosh of the Hereford Show. That was about it. But we spent so much time visiting with producers and breeders and marketers and associations. And I mean, just everybody that is involved in the cattle business. I wish we could have stayed out there a whole week.
Oh, I wish we could have, but believe me, it will be on my list that we make sure we attend again next year. But from my side, if you don't mind me interjecting a little bit here, Tigger,
babe.
Tigger's big background has been a lot of doing seed stock sales, like you said, fitting and stuff like that. My background is much more on the commercial side. I'm from a big commercial outfit. So sometimes there's been that question where people will say, oh, if they show their cattle, I'm not really interested in their genetics for my outfit, meaning that we're trying to find the real world.
Right. And I understand that.
Right?
I totally get that.
We want to know that these cattle are going to be able to make it off of the grasses that we've got, the water availability that we have,
that they can travel,
the weather and such. And I found it interesting. I had a conversation with one of the seed stock producers out there, and asked the question about the real world, and they came back immediately, did not skip a beat, saying that at the end of the day, regardless if they get a ribbon or not, they know who their customers are, their buyers are. It is you, I, those of us that are trying to grab those genetics and bring them into our herds for improvement, and they understand that their cattle have to perform
for the commercial,
for the real world,
for the commercial men. So, when it comes to these shows, and I had conversations like that too, and I know a lot of people will look at that and say, well, is really there a real world application for that? And I'm going to say, number one, yes, but number two, a person really needs to spend some time analyzing a particular operation, that their goals and what they're trying to produce and their genetics are something that fits in line with you, right? And to learn more about their operation and the people behind it, I think is the first big one, to make sure that everything comes together and you got a marriage that works. But when you have something like the Cattlemen's Congress that just got over here in Oklahoma City, and the Badlands, or the Badlands, the Black Hills, excuse me. Yes, that's going to be kicking off shortly. That's one of our personal favorites too. I love going to the Black Hills Stock Show. But when these breeders are bringing out a carload of 10 bulls or a pen of 3, or even taking cattle to the heel or whatever the case is, they're showcasing what they've done, and they want to show this to other breeders that are out there. What I mean by other breeders is, other seed stock producers in that particular breed, that they feel that they've got something that could be a breed changer. It could fit not everyone, but particular programs. So that is another form of marketing, just on another level. And that's what I do love about going to Denver, because I love the pen shows, the pen of 3 and the carloads. Absolutely love that. It's the opportunity to see your cattle against everybody else's in that breed, but then also everybody else in the cattle world, right? All these other breeds coming together to find out, what are their goals? What are they doing? What are they focused on? That's what I truly, truly enjoy and find beneficial from these shows. But I can absolutely respect when people say, and they do need to ask that question, do these genetics work for me? Like you said, in the real world.
Yes, the real world aspect, we never want to let that get away from us. I always encourage other producers to, when you are looking at your bulls, your genetics, whether it's bulls, heifers, whatever you're looking at putting into your herd, to really vet out the seed stock individuals that you're looking at. And if you have the opportunity, when I say vet them out, is to actually take the time. I know it might take a little bit, get in the car, but go see their operations.
That's the best. If you could.
If you can.
If you can.
If you can't, I will give kudos to places like the Denver Stock Show, Cattlemen's Congress out in Oklahoma, Houston Stock Show is going to be coming up. These are great ways, though, to take time to visit with these different individuals in one location. Save a little time.
So you mentioned Houston Stock Show. Is that on the radar? In fact, I know what it is, because you had so darn much fun in Denver. And I told you, Beck, I said, this is going to be so much fun. You're going to see so many of your friends there. And you were surprised. You were like, oh my gosh, you turn the corner and here's this person and here's that person. And it seemed like it was a never ending just conversation that was going on.
Yes, I will admit Houston is now on my radar. I am guilty. I've been looking at plane tickets already. Can't promise I'm going to pull it off there, Tigger, but
we want to see our Southern friends.
We might make it happen, but at the end of the day, I am so glad we went. And this is the thing to take away. We are in a niche business in a way. And what that means is that you are only a couple of degrees away from knowing almost everybody in our entity.
Yep.
And that's what's so important. Networking is extremely important. It's part of us staying innovative. It's a part of us staying cutting edge with all of our herds, what we're trying to attain and grow to become. So I do encourage you to attend any of these events if you can.
And that is what the Ranch It Up radio show really is all about, is trying to bridge that gap and bring people as much information and throw it at you each and every week. Exactly 221 times that we've been doing this. Hey, it's Tigger and Beck with the Ranch It Up radio show. We've got to take a quick break, and when we come back, we've got a lot of news and markets to go through, so keep it locked. Attention cattle producers. Boost your herd's trace mineral status with Axiota Animal Health's Multi-Min 90. This injectable solution delivers essential trace minerals known to support cattle health and reproduction. Don't settle for less when it comes to your herd health. Trust Axiota Animal Health to keep your cattle in prime condition. Visit your local supplier or veterinarian to learn more about Multi-Min 90. Multi-Min 90, because healthy cattle mean a healthy bottom line.
LivestockMarket.com. We hear from the crew at LivestockMarket.com every week. Bulls, cows, bred heifers, open replacement heifers, cow-calf pairs, feeders, and stockers, horses, pigs, goats, sheep, show stock, hay and straw, and even alpacas, all listed on LivestockMarket.com. Private treaty, online auctions, and on-site auctions. Buying or selling, gauge the market, do some research. Check out LivestockMarket.com.
And don't forget, they brought you AuctionTime.com and EquineMarket.com. Cow Country News, you know, the cow stuff. Welcome back to the Ranch It Up radio show, the most information packed into a 30-minute program that you can find. It's your all things ranching newscast, and so glad to be hanging out with y'all. Questions, comments, concerns, criticisms, rants, it doesn't matter. Give us a call at 707-RANCH-20. That's 707-726-2420. Email is ranchitupshow@gmail.com. Prowling around social media at Ranch It Up Show. This, according to Daryl Peel from Oklahoma State University. He's the Extension Livestock Marketing Specialist there. He says cattle and beef markets rocketed out of the gate coming into 2025, as we all know. With no post-holiday wavering, all cattle and beef markets moved higher in the first half of January, setting new record price levels to start the new year. This continues the trend of the last 3 years. Cattle prices began to move higher after 2021 and increased more sharply in 2023 through 2024, through last year. In Oklahoma auctions in the week ending January 17th, the price of 5-weight steers was $361.88. That's up 18.1% year over year and up 111% from the same week 4 years ago in 2021. For 8-weight steers, the price was $269 and a few cents, $269. That's up 21% year over year and up 105% in the last 4 years. The 5-market fed steer live price was $203.56 for the week ending January 17th. That's up 17% from a year ago and up almost 86% from January 2021. Daily 5-market fed steers hit $200 per hundredweight for the first time ever on January 7th and reached as high as $205.37 on January 15th. Higher fed prices, he says, are expected ahead. Now, he went on to summarize by saying the strong cattle and beef price trends coming into 2025 is expected to continue as cattle inventories and beef supplies tighten further in the coming months. However, he says, while cattle and beef markets are strong internally, external shocks from political uncertainty, we'll say, along with U.S. and global macroeconomic jitters may cause short-term stocks and short-lived market setbacks. He says volatility is likely to accompany a bullish market expectation. Next up, I'm going to say way to be, corn huskers, because Nebraska legislators move against cultured meat. Listen to this one. Nebraska Governor Jim Pillen and State Senator Barry DeKay introduced a bill to the state legislature that would prevent lab-grown meat from being manufactured and distributed or sold in Nebraska. Now, according to Governor Pillen, he said in a news release, "I know how important it is that we take steps to preserve our way of life for the benefits of those who consume our products." He said, "We feed the world and save the planet. To ensure that we can do that for generations to come, we need to take steps that keep extremists from introducing unproven meat products from being sold to consumers," unquote. As proposed, the bill defines cultivated meat protein and requires those products be labeled adulterated food products under the Pure Food Act. Now, according to Senator DeKay, he says until or unless there are clear labeling rules that adequately disclose that cultured meat is not real meat, the sale allows lab meats to unfairly benefit from industry investments in marketing and production. What's more, this industry is supported by organizations that want to do away with animal production in Nebraska and the United States. This is part of the process that we're going through to make sure our way of life, our livestock, and our product that we can put on the dinner table stays intact going forward. As I mentioned in the beginning, Nebraska doing it right. And since we started the program talking about the National Western Stock Show and Rodeo, I want to tell you about the Maternal Merit Sale. These are commercial bred heifers that were selected for this particular sale to take place at Denver. So congratulations to these consigners and to the buyers, by the way. Here's how they wrapped up. Listen to this. 18 F1 black baldy bred heifers, commercial females, averaged 42.67. I never thought I'd be saying that. 14 F1 red baldy heifers, they averaged 40.75. 26 Angus bred heifers, they averaged 37.58. Then there was 12 balancer bred heifers, they averaged 35.5. 12 Sim Angus bred heifers, they averaged 37.50. Now 98 total bred heifers, they averaged 38.44. So congratulations goes out to the consigners and the buyers. Now that's all right for bred heifers. When we come back, we're talking markets and a whole lot more right here on the Ranch It Up Radio Show. Premium Simmental and Sim Angus genetics from Clear Springs Cattle Company. Their annual Bred for Balance production sale February 14th, Valentine's Day in Starbuck, Minnesota. Selling 130 bulls, 60 females, an elite donor, and 5 fabulous heifers.
Travis Wolf here with Clear Springs Cattle Company. Bulls carry a 3-year breeding soundness warranty, and cost share trucking is available on all cattle. If you're in the market for profitable beef genetics that can move your herd in the right direction, be sure to join us in Starbuck.
Head to bredforbalance.com and ranchchannel.com for all sale information.
Increase herd performance, complement your forages, get more cows bred. It's upcycling and efficiency, powered by Westway Feed Products. At Westway Feed Products, we create cow herd efficiency one lick at a time.
At Allied Genetic Resources, it's all about commercial customer success.
We see that charge, we understand that charge, and we're going to use all the tools we can to get there.
To maximize heterosis, purchase your next herd sire from an Allied Genetic Resources partner. Just head to AlliedGeneticResources.com. Welcome back, everyone, to the Ranch It Up Radio Show. That time in the program, we check in with Kirk Donsbach, StoneX Financial Incorporated, kind of recapping the markets, find out what's going on, what's hot, what's not, what could be coming down the pike. Kirk, numbers, 1, 2, 3, go.
Good morning, Tigger, and all your listeners out there. As of Friday, January 17th, March feeder futures closed the week at $268.45. That's down $1 on the week, with the CME feeder index down $1.49 at $277.06. That narrowed the basis to a positive $3.26 versus January futures and positive $8.61 versus March futures. Futures are still having trouble keeping up with the cash market. February live cattle closed the week at $196.87.5. That's down $1.95 on the week, with cash trading $201 in the south and $203 to $206 in the north. That left the 5-area weighted average of 95 cents at $203.56. and the basis versus February futures a positive $6.81. The weekly slaughter was 603,000. That's 14,000 head more than last week and 2,000 head less than the same week last year. Choice boxes closed the week at 333.69. That's up another 85 cents on the week. To wrap this up, March corn closed the week at 484 3/4. That's up 13 3/4 on the week. The corn market had technical buying once the market broke that downtrend a couple weeks ago with the USDA report. Since then, it's rallied up to resistance with the $5 potential in the horizon.
Hey all, Mark VanZee with LivestockMarket.com. This week I have 3 fantastic production sales to tell you about. Sunday, February 2nd at 2 p.m., Klein Simmental Ranch of Hertzfeld, North Dakota will be hosting their 13th annual production sale. They're offering 60 Simmental and Sim-Angus bulls, 25 registered open heifers, and select groups of commercial bred and open heifers. Monday, February 3rd at 1 p.m., Bell Simmentals of Fordville, North Dakota will host their annual bull and female sale, selling 40 coming 2-year-old Simmental and Sim-Angus bulls, 60 yearling Simmental and Sim-Angus bulls, 200 F1 commercial bred heifers, 30 Simmental and Sim-Angus bred heifers, 125 Black Angus bred heifers, along with 100 head of Red Angus bred heifers. Then Thursday, February 6th at 1 p.m., Stroh Herefords of Kildare, North Dakota, will be selling 46 registered coming 2-year-old bulls, 30 commercial Hereford heifers bred to Black Angus bulls, and 20 F1 Baldy yearling heifers. You can view and bid all these sales and more at LivestockMarket.com. Do you have a production sale coming up? Learn more about Livestock Market's easy and affordable online bidding services by visiting LivestockMarket.com or give us a call at 844-775-4762 today.
Tired of the yelling and fighting when things get stressful working cattle? Lucky for you, there are some simple solutions to improving communication on the ranch. Hey, I'm Shaye Wanner, and I'm the host of the Casual Cattle Conversations podcast. I interviewed Taryn Dreeling about the importance of good communication, regulating emotions, and how to do this on the ranch. Here's a snapshot of our conversation.
If your plan is to keep this operation in the family for generations and generations to come, communication is a really great way to ensure that that happens. What we do on the ranch day to day, working with livestock and weather and big equipment, number one, it's important to have good communication for your physical safety. If we're not communicating well, then that leaves us open for more opportunity to get hurt, especially like if the high stress situation that you're in is the sort alley and you're worked up. So then your cattle are worked up and we're not communicating well. I mean, that leaves you open to get run over. A second reason, and maybe a less obvious reason, is that especially in family operations, if we don't have the communication there and those open lines of communication and more importantly, connection with each other, it's not as a harmonious environment to be in. And then, depending on how bad or how long we've neglected our communication and connection, it might be the end of the road for our family operation if no one wants to come back. And so if your plan is to keep this operation in the family for generations and generations to come, communication is a really great way to ensure that that happens.
Listen to the full story by searching for Casual Cattle Conversations on your favorite podcast player. Happy ranching, folks.
I tip my hat to you, from one legend to another.
Before we say fare thee well, we want to give a big tip of the hat to all of you producers, truck drivers, everyone that is out there dealing with the Arctic blast that came through earlier this week and continues. This cold weather is here. 'Tis the season. It is January, but know that we have been thinking about each and every one of you.
It makes me crabby. Not just me, but it makes a lot of people crabby and cranky, doesn't it? I mean, when you start going this far below the donut for a lot of places and wind chills, and I mean, it's just dangerous. I always get nervous this time of year.
And I find that always interesting. Maybe many of you are like us. You're in it with your spouse, okay? So you have to battle everything as a team. So my question to y'all is, do you end up finding in your household that one person is more, it'll be all right, we got this under control, and then the other one is more like how Tigger just said, I am nervous, I'm not comfortable with this.
But notice the one who is nervous and not comfortable is the one that makes sure that cupboard doors stay open at night night so pipes don't freeze, and that when they are traveling to all these different bull sales and conventions, and no matter what's going on, to make sure that everything is taken care of, that people are coming over and checking on the place. Boom. Yeah, exactly. No comment.
I can see where you're coming from.
Let me just wrap this thing. Yeah, that's a wrap up for today, my friends. And a big thanks goes out to all of our crew, starting out with Kirk Donsbach, StoneX Financial Incorporated, Mark VanZee with LivestockMarket.com, Shaye Wanner with Casual Cattle Conversations, and the boss lady. Yeah, she is the boss lady, Rebecca Wanner, a.k.a. Beck. Thanks, babe.
A big thank you to our partners, ranchchannel.com. Check it out. There's new listings and the latest sale reports for y'all, as well as the live future markets. Dry Creek Ranch, Jorgensen Land and Cattle, Transova Genetics, Clear Springs Cattle Company, and their annual Bred for Balance sale. Axiota Animal Health, bringing us Multi-Min and Lactopro. The American Gelbvieh Association, Imogene Ingredients. Farmatan, Westway Feed Products, Medora Boot and Western Wear, Allied Genetic Resources, Allied Feeding Partners, LivestockMarket.com, EquineMarket.com, AuctionTime.com, the Tri-State Livestock News, RFD TV, Wrangler, and this fine radio station.
And crew, so glad y'all came with us one more time as we ranch it up 221 times, by the way. Be sure to like and follow us on Facebook at Ranch It Up Show. Our email, which, by the way, just another reminder, we had those recaps of the National Western Stock Show, the Angus Penna 3 show. We had some recaps from there, and the Hereford sale, which everybody has been lighting up about that one. So go to our Facebook page, Ranch It Up Show. Our email is ranchitupshow@gmail.com. Call and text us 24/7. That phone number is 707-RANCH-20, 707-726-2420. Spread the good word and join us again next week, where it's always Tigger and Beck approved.
Stay ranchy and ranch it up.
Why not give Gelbvieh and Balancer bulls a try this year? Raise replacement females with added fertility, increased longevity, and greater productivity. Get increased performance, improve feed efficiency, and increase the carcass merit. Maximize crossbreeding with Gelbvieh and Balancer. RanchChannel.com. Bull sales, Western events, product information, and more right at your fingertips on the ultimate cowboy-friendly platform. Want to follow up-to-date markets? Head to RanchChannel.com. No need to dig for information on all these different websites. It's all right there on RanchChannel.com.
We run a lot of high milk-producing mama cows in our herd.
Mitch Kenobi of Norfolk dealt with scours in his herd.
So bad that we sent samples off to South Dakota State and Kansas State. Heard about Farmatan. As a producer, I know it's our job to limit our inputs, but when it comes to Farmatan, Dad and I don't blink an eye. It is a must for every calving season.
Adding Farmatan to your livestock's nutrition this fall will rid your new herd of scours in the spring. Go to FarmatanUSA.com.